Hello students, welcome back to Excel Maths powered by Me and Math. In today's lesson we are going to be talking about type 2 when the coordinates of the 2 points are given and we have to find out the gradient. Yes, it's a part of finding out the gradient. Part 2 or lesson 2. So let's look at the question. We've seen these exam style questions in previous lesson also to get the understanding like how the questions are being asked over there. A straight line L passes through points 2, 3 and 7, 8. We have to find out the gradient. Okay, so let me tell you how to find out the gradient. The gradient that is also represented with the letter M. Gradient is change in y over change in x. We literally need not to really represent these coordinates in the graph and then try finding out the gradient with the help of previous understanding. We just need to do the change in y over change in x. Okay, now when you have any coordinate given to you, we know that the first is the x and the second is y. So what y's do we have here? The last two numbers are the y's. They are representing y. And the first two numbers of both the points are representing x because the first is x and the second one is y. Make sense? So what you have to do? You have to just subtract the last two numbers of both the points given. That means 8, take away 3 and change in x. What do we have x in here? This is x. These are the x coordinates of the both the points. So that would be 7 minus 2. 8 minus 3 over 7 minus 2. So let's further simplify that. 8 minus 3 is 5 and 7 minus 2 is 5 again. That gives us 1. Right? So this is how we find out the gradient. We can also represent the change in y over change in x as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But these y2 and y1 and x2 and x1 are, so what do? The first point, the very first point, say for example, this one, 2, 3. We just consider it to be the x of that one, we consider it to be x1 and that is y1. For the other one, the second point, we consider it to be x2 and the other one to be y2. If it looks like a lot of information, you can just, slowly go through the content, pause it, try understanding, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to explain the same thing, this time being more like math concepts included. That time it was also the same thing, but change in y or change in x. It is the only thing we are doing. Okay, to simplify the same thing, as I told you, what the gradient is always change in y over change in x. That is also written as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so what we can do, we can just quickly write it down as x1, y1, x2 and y2. Okay, now what's our y2? y2 is negative 5 minus is like we are doing the change means difference. y2 minus, what is y1? y1 is minus 9 on the top of x2 is 6 minus, what is x1? minus 4. Here we definitely need to know a few things about negative numbers. Minus 5 minus plus 9 over 6. A negative of negative 4 is a positive 4. That gives us minus 5 plus 9, that gives us a positive 4, and 6 plus 4 is 10. You can simplify that just by dividing by 2. So let's divide by 2. That gives us 2/5. So what the gradient we get? The gradient is 2/5. Hope that makes sense. So when you have coordinates given to you, that means you just need to find the change in y over change in x, and that gives you the gradient. Keep preparing strong for GCSE. See you soon. Take care.